Metal screams as the floor collapses beneath her, water surging up to her knees while alarms echo. She runs without knowing who triggered the lockdown or why the tunnel is sealing behind her. Her breath fogs the air as warning lights strobe faster, painting the walls red. Something inside her reacts to the panic, tightening her muscles in a way that feels wrong. The exit gate slams shut inches from her hands. She slams her fist against it, and the impact dents steel that should not bend. A surge of heat crawls under her skin, forcing her to back away in shock. The alarms cut out abruptly, leaving only dripping water and her pulse. Hard cut to morning, steam filling a cramped bathroom as she grips the sink. Red strands clog the drain, and her reflection refuses to stay still. She splashes water on her face, counting breaths like a ritual. The pressure inside her eases, but only barely. A knock rattles the door, sharp and impatient. The voice outside belongs to someone who never accepts half answers. She forces calm into her voice and lies through clenched teeth. Silence answers, heavy with suspicion. Minutes later, she's packed onto a city bus, surrounded by strangers and stale air. Every jolt sends another pulse of heat through her chest. A sudden stop throws passengers forward, and anger flashes across the bus. Her vision blurs, edges darkening. She stumbles off early, heart racing, choosing open air over collapse. The sidewalk feels too narrow, the city too loud. Inside a fluorescent hallway, laughter ricochets off lockers. Someone's eyes linger on her hands, then quickly look away. A mocking comment lands too close, too personal. She feels her nails bite into her palms as for prickles along her arms. She bolts into the nearest restroom and locks the door behind her. The mirror shows eyes that no longer look human. Breathing slows the change, but not completely. A deep growl slips out before she can stop it. She escapes through a service exit, forcing herself into motion before fear wins. The city swallows her again. A familiar storefront flashes by, neon buzzing in the rain. She ducks past it, praying she wasn't seen. Behind her, a car door slams and an engine revs. The presence chasing her feels personal, relentless. She cuts through an industrial block and skids to a stop at a chained entrance. Her strength surges again, uninvited. The chain snaps in her hands, echoing like a gunshot. As she slips inside, she realizes hiding might be more dangerous than running. Inside the warehouse, darkness swallows sound, broken only by dripping water. She presses her back to a cold wall, willing the heat in her veins to settle. Footsteps scrape outside, slow and deliberate. Whoever followed her isn't calling out, isn't searching loudly, just waiting. She moves deeper, weaving through rusted machinery that smells of oil and mold. Each step threatens to shake loose what she's holding back. Her phone vibrates once, then dies. The silence after feels intentional, like the building itself is listening. A memory surfaces uninvited. Being told control is obedience, and obedience is safety. The lie tastes bitter now. Metal groans behind her, and she spins too fast. Her shoulder clips a beam, bending it inward. She freezes, shocked by her own strength. The thrill that follows scares her more than the noise. A flashlight beam slices through the darkness, steady and practiced. It stops inches from her face. The older woman doesn't shout. She only says her name, calmly, like this was always inevitable. Panic spikes, and the heat surges again, ripping through restraint. Her hands shake as something pushes outward. She bolts past the light, crashing through a side door into rain-soaked air. The city greets her with horns and chaos. Cars screech as she crosses without looking, landing hard on the far side. Asphalt cracks where her foot hits. People shout, phones come out, and attention becomes a weapon. She feels exposed, hunted from all sides. She ducks into the convenience store, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. The glass door rattles behind her. Her reflection in the freezer door looks wrong again, wider, heavier. She forces a smile that doesn't stick. The clerk watches silently, hand hovering near the counter alarm. She backs away, knowing she's already lost this hiding place. Outside, The older woman waits by the curb, rain streaking down her face. Disappointment cuts sharper than anger. She's cornered, breath ragged, emotions tearing loose. For breaks through skin in flashes she can't hide anymore. Instead of grabbing her, the older woman steps closer, voice low, warning her of what happens if control fully snaps. The warning lands too late. The surge peaks, and she feels bones shift, strength doubling in a heartbeat. She flees again, faster now, clearing obstacles without slowing. Fear mixes with exhilaration in a dangerous balance. Sirens rise somewhere behind her, distant but multiplying. The city is waking up to her existence. Sirens rise somewhere behind her, distant but multiplying. The city is waking up to her existence. She ducks into a maintenance stairwell, slamming the door shut. For a moment, there is only her breathing. The change recedes partially, leaving her shaking and weak. Control feels possible again, but fragile. She believes she's safe, just long enough to breathe. That belief is the mistake. A shadow blocks the light above. The older woman stands there, having tracked her without haste. She's told this is the last chance to contain what's happening. The word, contain, ignites rage. Their argument echoes off concrete, voices rising, control slipping with every accusation. The heat returns, stronger. A hand grabs her arm, firm and familiar. Instinct answers with violence before thought can intervene. She throws the woman aside with terrifying ease. The sound of impact is final, unforgivable. Horror floods her as the older woman lies stunned, bleeding from the forehead. This was never supposed to happen. Sirens are close now, unmistakable. She realizes there's no going back to hiding. She runs upward, bursting onto a rooftop washed in rain and red warning lights. The city spreads below, watching. The transformation completes under the open sky, no walls left to protect anyone. Her silhouette grows impossible to miss. Crowds gather below, pointing upward, fear spreading faster than facts. She feels powerful and trapped at once. A helicopter's spotlight locks onto her, pinning her in white light. Control slips further away. She roars back at the noise, the sound ripping through the night. Windows shatter blocks away. Below, emergency vehicles flood the streets, sealing exits. The city chooses containment over understanding. She realizes the danger isn't just what she might do, but what they will do to stop her. With nowhere left to run, she braces herself, knowing the next choice will decide who survives the night. Armed voices echo from below, amplified and distorted by rain. Orders are shouted, not to her, but about her. The helicopter circles tighter, wind tearing at her clothes. Each rotation strips away another layer of restraint. A loudspeaker crackles, demanding compliance she no longer understands. Fear twists into defiance. She steps back, concrete crumbling under her heel. The drop yawns open, merciless. Memories flood in fragments, warnings ignored, rules enforced, silence demanded. The pressure finally snaps. She leaps, not down, but forward, clearing the gap to the next building. The city gasps as one. She lands hard, skidding through pooled rainwater. Pain grounds her, just for a second. Spotlights snap to her new position. There will be no disappearing tonight. Below, a barricade buckles as people push for distance. Panic becomes contagious. She feels the change deepen, bones locking into a heavier structure. This time, it doesn't hurt. A familiar voice cuts through the chaos, raw and strained. The older woman is awake. The sound freezes her mid-motion. Rage falters, replaced by shock. The older woman steps forward despite protests, blood drying at her temple. She isn't shouting now. She admits fear openly, not of the creature, but of losing control herself. The confession lands heavy. The admission fractures something inside her. Strength wavers as emotion shifts. A sniper laser crawls across her chest, steady and red. Any sudden move could end everything. She exhales, forcing stillness through sheer will. The transformation stalls, half-held. The helicopter pulls back slightly. Someone decides to wait. Rain intensifies, drenching everyone, blurring lines and lowering weapons. Nature intervenes where people failed. She lowers herself to one knee, signaling surrender without words. Cameras capture everything. The older woman nods once, accepting the risk. This is no longer about obedience. Medics push forward, shields raised but hands open. The shift is subtle, meaningful. Her body shrinks slightly, tension releasing in waves. Pain returns, but so does clarity. She collapses fully, strength spent. The threat is over, but the consequences are not. Responders secure the roof, weapons lowering at last. The city exhales. She's placed onto a stretcher, rain washing away blood and grime. Eyes stay on her, wary but curious. The older woman follows, ignoring orders to stay back. Distance is no longer acceptable. Sirens fade into the background as they descend. The spectacle gives way to aftermath. In the stairwell, she opens her eyes, human again, exhausted beyond fear. The older woman meets her gaze, not with judgment, but relief. The fight is over. Outside, dawn breaks through the storm, revealing damage spread across several blocks. News vans crowd the perimeter, already shaping the narrative. Control slips into other hands. She's loaded into an ambulance, doors closing with finality. There will be no erasing tonight. The older woman hesitates, then climbs in after her. Whatever comes next, it's shared. The doors shut, cutting off the city's noise. Silence settles, heavy but earned. She turns her head slightly, voice barely audible, admitting she can't promise control. The response is immediate and firm. Control was never the goal. Responsibility is. She absorbs that, eyes closing again. For the first time, the heat doesn't surge back. The ambulance pulls away, tires hissing on wet asphalt. The city watches it go. What remains isn't a monster story, but a reckoning, public, permanent, and impossible to hide. Days later, she wakes in a sealed medical ward, restraints replaced by monitoring wires. The quiet feels heavier than chaos. Outside the glass, armed security stands watch, not hostile, just prepared. Her existence has been reclassified as a risk. The older woman sits nearby, exhausted, refusing to leave. Guilt lingers between them, unresolved but acknowledged. Doctors explain containment protocols without euphemism. There will be tests, limits, and constant supervision. She listens without protest, understanding this is the price of survival. The alternative was far worse. Footage from the night plays silently on a wall monitor. She turns away before the leap reappears. Public reaction fractures fast. Fear, fascination, anger. None of it asks what she felt. Officials label her an anomaly, not a person. Language hardens policy. The older woman argues in closed rooms, voice raw, demanding accountability on both sides. Some doors stay shut. Alone again, the heat stirs faintly, like an echo. She doesn't fight it this time. Nothing breaks through. Control comes not from force, but acceptance. Weeks pass. The city repairs glass and pavement, pretending the night was an exception. She's transferred to a reinforced facility on the edge of the city. Isolation replaces pursuit. The older woman visits regularly, no lectures left, only presence. That matters more now. They don't apologize anymore. They talk about what comes next, honestly, for the first time. Training begins under supervision, measured and controlled. Strength is no longer a secret. She learns limits, not to erase what she is, but to live with it without collateral damage. Outside the walls, debate fades to rumor. Inside, purpose starts to form. She stands alone at a narrow window, city lights distant but visible. The heat remains, steady and contained. She didn't escape the beast, and she didn't lose to it. Survival meant learning the cost, and choosing to pay it.